What do we think? Should we get started?
Yeah.
Feeling good?
Let's do it.
All right. Welcome everyone to the 20th anniversary 215 Festival. I'm Alina Pleskova. I'm a programming coordinator for the festival. If you like what you see and hear tonight, you can keep up with festival events all year long by signing up for our newsletter at 215festival.org. Also, this event has closed captioning, just so you know. If you click the CC button at the bottom of your screen, you can turn it on or off. And this event is being recorded, just so you know. Okay, I'm gonna transform into my editor self before your eyes. So in addition to working on the festival, who have kindly agreed to host us tonight, I'm the co-editor of Bedfellows magazine, the convener of the reading that you are attending tonight, and I'm here with my co-host and co-editor, Jack Sadicario.
Hello, everyone. So we thought we'd kind of just like get down to it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the magazine. So we started Bedfellows in 2013. We wanted to create a literary space that exists as an ongoing conversation about desire and intimacy with an emphasis on underrepresented, minoritized voices. So there's a lot of stigmas, there's a lot of cliches, there's a lot of assumptions attached to writing about sex and the body. And we wanted to do something, we wanted to put together something that subverts those notions, that confronts them, that's surprising, that's different. So that doesn't mean that this work is like all like, ooh la la, like sexy, or like super provocative or anything. But it can be. There's plenty of that. It doesn't mean the work only centers straight, white, cis, able bodies. We believe in an erotics that covers a spectrum of identities and experiences. One that includes queerness, transness, sex work, aging, asexuality, changing bodies, parenthood, different relationship modes, humor, rage, boredom, smut, lack, loneliness, everything. So that whole spectrum of human experience. I'm using my hands a lot because like in person, I'd probably be moving my body around, you know? So that's my substitute for that today. So we've definitely expanded our magazine. It's grown and our literary community continues to grow, and we're so glad to be here with you tonight. So Alina, introduce herself. I'm Jack. We also have Laura, our managing editor, and Bella, our previous editorial intern. And now she's going to be working with us in another capacity too. So she'll be on board. So from the beginning of this, we were lucky to be joined in this project by Laura. And she did a great job putting together the videos tonight. So just snaps for that as well. So this magazine wouldn't exist without you guys, Laura and Bella. We're so proud and happy to have you. And like, I guess let's give them a round of applause, or like raise your soda, seltzer, suds, your caffeinated seltzer maybe, in honor of them. Let's get down to business here. So Alina, what do you got to say?
Yeah, cheers to our team, cheers to the 215 Festival, cheers to our readers and our contributors, the ones who are here tonight and the ones who couldn't join us but are feeling us along the astral plane, like, you know, telepathically. Another thing we believe in is super fun launch parties. Some of you who are in the chat tonight have probably witnessed and experienced them, but tonight we're going virtual until we can do it in person again. So welcome. And this is the virtual launch of our Little Black Book anthology, which is funded by the Leeway Foundation's Art and Change grant that we won last year. And it gave us the ability to pay every contributor. So there's over 60 writers in this anthology. We got to pay ourselves for the first time since 2013, which was rad, pay for printing costs, all of that good stuff. So shout out to Leeway for helping our little projects along. What else is good to know? So the work here is a testament to many of the countless ways that desire and sexuality can be experienced, how bodies can relate to each other or exist in the world, whether it's filthy or tender or quiet or something else entirely, something that these poems and these works of prose each find singular ways to express. So we're thrilled to be here with you all tonight. A little bit of promo in the chat that I'm going to keep doing throughout the night. Here is a pre-order link. Those of you who like savings, it's at a special pre-order price until the end of the month. And we're really proud of this project and all of the work in it, and seeing new work from people we've known for many years who are part of the Bedfellows fam. So we hope that you love it as much as we do.
You know, you did that promo so well. I loved it so much. I was ready to savings. But that's all I got really. So, you know, I'm glad that you took that one over. So just a quick note on the reading format. So all the readings are pre-recorded, and we'll have 3 sets. At the start of each set, we're going to read a name of the readers and drop their bios in the chat, so you can learn more about them at your own speed. You don't need us reading some paragraphs at you. Also, before each video, their name will be shown. So you'll get a chance to see that again if you forgot, or if you didn't hear me, or if I fumbled over my words, which happens. So let's go ahead and get our first set started. Lena, do you want to introduce names, or would you like me to go?
Up to you, Bibi. Do you have them up already?
I do. I can do it. Okay. It's so weird because we usually have like crumpled pieces of paper in our hands, you know, and
we really do. I know. I don't know what to do with my hands, and I'm not holding like a drink and a microphone. And
I'm gonna just start moving them. Okay, so let me read the first list of readers. And yes, we are just like so enamored of everything that got sent to us, guys. Like I can't even tell you how happy everything made me to see and to look at. So here are our first readers. So we have Nico Amador, Camellia-Berry Grass, Lauren Yates, Holly Raymond, Emma Browne Sanders, Rachel Milligan, Juliana Feliciano Reyes, Maria Flaccavento, Jamie Townsend, and Faye Chevalier. So those are first list, and we're gonna get that. I don't want to say beautiful bean footage, but I'm saying it. It's gonna roll. Okay.
All right, everyone. Hello to the 215 Festival, wherever you are joining us from tonight. Hello to my fellow bedfellows. It's an honor to be a part of this launch and this anthology. I'm Nico, and this is False Valentine. I wrote you this last year in letter form. I abstain from poetry. I try. For you, a formal constraint. Handcuffs. Plain text is a new way to beg inside them. Please and I do. I have eschewed earnestness for articles of no consequence. GIF of the diva donning sunglasses. 50 new shades of how to say what I feel without ever saying it. Dick pics, and see, my speech does swagger more sibilantly from our banter. Faggier, vivid. I'm continually knocked out by your eyelashes and your wit in that order. My favorite position when you held me, my back to your chest like a child. We did this only once. Memory is deciduous. Last season, already blown away. The storm confused our reasons for being wet. It was the surf, but also the day-ruining clouds, their drizzle. At this distance, I thought I'd still be hanging on to your slim hips, but what I remember most is the book I opened but couldn't read, my persistent squinting, the gesture of your hand flipping the light switch, a casual fathering. Another helicopter down in Hawaii, you write. Cats the movie is a car wreck worth rubbernecking. No real crisis except the Astroglide exploded in your suitcase. Cupid interrupted, made distractible inside the plangent grid. Oh, fuck buddy, my biggest minor love. Oh, winter, where I am restless and reach for my phone. And I do sometimes wish for an always. So please, please always fill my February with reports of your terrier, your expendable lulls, a few fond portraits of disaster.
Hi, I'm Camellia-Berry grass, and this is my poem from the Little Black Book. It's about pandemic sexting, de-esting. It's called Short Message Service. Collapsing distance, 1,500 miles apart. Your words are the only thing here with me. Clasping buckle, the collar that I wear around my neck, tightening it myself in the absence of your hands. Collapsing shutter, my phone's camera capturing my spasms, coming for you because you commanded me to. Clasping hands around my phone as you text me praise, around my breast as I'm filled by you from afar. The metadata makes real our kink imaginary. Each message a timestamp of my devotion, of your possession. Through two screens, I still feel your tug on my leash. A Cartesian collapse, grounded in my embodiment, mind dropping and stomach leaping to meet each other when you call me your pet. And I don't need your voice to hear your conviction, and I don't need your fingers clasping my sun-warmed skin to feel held. The metadata makes real me sucking your fingers, whining into you. Lays plain the subtext when you bite my neck, claim clavicle, and leave me marked. It's a pandemic. I can only travel into myself, where last year, I was unmade, a wife, where you saw leather inside and showed me where to find it. And so I call you sir and mean it. And so it's here for now, where I can collapse into your lap, nuzzle into you, feeling that toothsome throb on my skin. Check the timestamps. It happened. A record as real as liturgy. Hands clasped together, doing what hands do. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lauren Yates. The poem that I'm about to read is a meditation on loneliness, inspired by some very, very strange experiences that I've had with sexting during COVID. So this is called My Loneliness is Killing Me. If my mother sneaks a box of Valentine's Day candy into my purse while I am in the bathroom, then the jig is up. She would find my lemon drop edibles, pomegranate gummy edibles, coconut oil, and leather flogger. Last Christmas, I pulled a bottle opener from my purse. Do you carry that around with you all the time? It was for my hotel room, in case I wanted a bottle of wine while watching Dexter. Instead, I bought a twist-off handle of Jose Cuervo ready to drink margaritas. The hotel room already had a bottle opener? Would it nag me for adhering to the Boy Scout motto, "Is this hotel room my mother?" naive yet afraid to seem lacking? My mother says my Amazon faux mink lashes outmatch her lash extensions. She used to tell people she grew her eyelashes with Latisse eye drops meant for patients with glaucoma. The commemorative shirt would say, "I have glaucoma and all I got were these long-ass lashes." My mother's idea of reparations is telling white people her crochet braids took 24 hours instead of 4. She swears I have a date. In this pandemic? The makeup is for sexting faux alpha doms who have modeled themselves after captive wolves. The daddies flood my inbox. They never call me mistress. The gummies make each toy feel like a person's touch. When I am high, I command attention in velvet and lace. When I am sober, I block breeders who want me on a ranch, chained with other females, perpetually pregnant, unwilling to say no.
Hi, I'm Holly Schaeffer-Raymond, and here is Medical Question Box. In the time before talking movies, two men meet on the street in Chicago. Frank Lidston, urologist, says, "Touch me," and you touch him. Beneath the shirt, beneath the collar, beneath the vest, 6 free roaming testes implanted between the skin and the ribs. And later, in a closet under chandeliers, Frank Lidston becomes nude, like Apollo, he says, and discloses a third nut, visible to the naked eye, plucked from a condemned prisoner and grafted to the patient himself by the surgeon himself. He could do a handstand, rejuvenated by the virile glands of a man no older than 35, hale and fit. He could simmer with rage. Others favored apes, or goats, or prayer, as in cathedrals, where the saints were skimmed off from their bones in portions, the parts of bodies multiplied as flowers in the spring. And here is Edward Bright, otherwise called the Fat Man of Malden. I too am 47.5 stone mate. I fit 700 men inside the soft body of the waste coast, standing and collecting winnings from the gullible men of the city. I die at the age of 29, overwhelmed, and shortly thereafter, Apostolo Zeno and Jacques Ferron, the prodigies, and Philemon Ewer, the master shipbuilder among many, and Johann Sebastian Bach. These and other men allowed in the space of my body, and the sweets I try on Malden's High Street, and men I eat from the Dengue 100. I am the grocer, and I make clear room. We are different kinds of teens at different times, and different babies, and different at different times sucking milk and throwing rocks at one another, and at times dead of plague, and at times worshipful of God, and at times dizzy from the tall flowers, and at times passing from one state to another, at times vast hungry, and at times a mere speck asleep. I ate so much, I died, they say, a bronze statue in my shape installed AD 2000, on the king's head I toppled from so billions of times, out-billioned and shaped, made space with my large mouth for the years of billions and centuries. And like dead Bach who sucks in God, spread open the sheet of waistcoat from coal sheath, burning to let myself open to the ravenous air. I fucked up the last stanza. Thank you very much anyway.
Groceries. You're so haptic in the morning. Window unit blowing ash, line of neosporin down your thigh. Whatever technology your fingers have for finding me sounds out my lips, muffled. Weeds hustle, I drop. Baby, what's a fulcrum? What's full? To exist outside everything, jobless and on the clock. I wore the strap in my teeth. I drug it down through clench and sweat of me saying, "You're so baby." Little struggles and murmur I, touching the edge, whatever plane it is we're on, surfacing. To stretch a half hour, I have sex pee on my cheek. I have 37 reasons why. We should never go back to work. I have a slip of paper asking it not to end, running a lighter over what we mouth. The morning and window smear, the milk and the bubbles and the oranges, half peeled, granola bars you keep bedside. Thank you, bedfellows.
To your hand in my hair. It doesn't go there. A sugared violet thumbtacked to the headboard in a room with all 3 windows open. I try to think of novel ways to join our lives together. I should stop knowing that you'll know. Someday you won't. If it's raining, it might as well be where all the worlds you can't imagine how long I have been lying here wondering where I stand in the line of people you could invite onto your lifeboat. To our coffins. If I speak to you I dedicate my life in that moment. That's just how I go. Don't you know that's what I have been doing this whole second you have spent with me, this whole moment in which I've been becoming light beneath your eyes, and yours has spilled into mine to prove neither was poison in apocrypha. If I speak to me, what am I saying? If I speak to me, I dedicate.
Hi, I'm Juliana, and welcome to my kitchen. Not going to be cooking for you tonight, but I am going to read you some poetry. So in that way, it's still kind of like a date. Thank you so much to Bedfellows magazine and to the 215 Festival. I'm going to read you something called Manila Phone. There's a picture of us that doesn't exist, at least not in any tangible form. You had put your camera away for a spell, so I took it upon myself, worked hard to imprint our image onto my memory. I studied us. You, between my legs, as we rode our little red motorbike down the winding island road, the one the Filipinos call the National Highway. My tiny wrap skirt flapping in the wind. Me, shameless, flashing the locals. In the photo, my right arm is draped across your chest, fingers resting on your solar plexus. I don't normally touch you here, hardly ever appear to possess you, and yet it makes sense to us under the sun, on this island, where we look just like any other tourist couple, even though we're not. At night, between tastes of the cheap dark rum I drank as a teenager, we are gleeful at this sleight of hand, how we've pulled it off yet again, marveling at how everyone is wrong about us, how they always are. Does it ever get old, this ruse? Once, when we were younger, we told some Parisians that I was your cousin so we could have an easier time getting laid. We were convinced it was simpler this way. Friend aroused suspicion. Friend was not enough. Years later, when we returned for the wedding of your childhood best friend, you told them all I was your roommate. Accurate enough. Ma coloc, you said. Ah, they said, puzzled, pitying. We laughed the whole drive home. As we make our way to the beach at the tip of the island, we consider stopping to ask someone to take our photo, but don't. I'm not bothered. You don't know it yet, but I'm suddenly confident I can capture us, up for the challenge. For I've been writing about my lovers for years, never dared write about you. And so I compose this poem at your back, the coconut trees overhead, my helmet's visor slid down over my eyes. At times, I rest my lips on the back of your neck, the way I know you like. Can you only write about a lover this way? On our ride back from the beach, where I nap, like always, and wake to you practicing backflips in the water, asking me to take a slow-mo video of you, you want to see your form. On this ride back, we come upon ourselves, see a glimpse of our reflection in a tinted shop window, and we are smitten by our image, the suggestion of it. Only the bright blue of my skirt, only the line of my forearm across your chest, the shape of you taking me home. Later, you say you regret not getting a photo of us, but don't I have it here? Thank you. What, do you hear the noise up there?
Breeding. When they bring the billy goat into the pen, it's like he's never seen a girl before. Olivia with her haunches in the center there, chewing the cud. He circles her 2 times, 3 times. Looks like we've got a real romancer, says a farmhand. He's smaller and it's awkward when he tries to climb on top. Olivia loses her footing once or twice. The pupils of her eyes, 2 black rectangles, struck me. After, they took the billy down to meat market for slaughter. Later in spring, Olivia spawned nothing. How I open. If I feel like being entered, I'll be entered. Only Olivia can judge me. Only Olivia can know that depth. She protects. She says you want to have fun, go to Coney Island and ride the cyclone. You say tomato, I say motive for revenge. I like to watch it all play out. I like to passively consume each situation till I've had my fill. I like to listen to my breathing and think, this is me breathing. This is the lone me, rooted in the me who is on this adventure. I'm fine here. I soften. We soften together. Feeling this is to know the infinite security of myself.
Hi all, this is Jamie Townsend, and I'm going to read a poem called Merkin, which begins with an epigraph by Francesca Lisette. How do you know where the sky starts? Perhaps it is touching your skin. Bottomless, I flop into the pool, turn sunshine to chlorine, green like a dying star. Stoya says, on a pedestal in a garbage can, form is infinity broken. At 38, I'm completely transparent, mortified by my basest fantasy. Fuck infinity, you're as old as you feel. My sex floated above oceans before they receded. I saw the earth buckle, transform, a mountainside emerge from unbearable pressure. I reached down to hold my chest, invisible, full of heat and insolvency, dry as a bone. Everyday junk arrives in the mail. It could be anyone it's addressed to. Picture my name like the partition between 2 restrooms. The fountain won't hold its weight. I'm top-heavy. My mind is overflowing, my ass unyielding, nothing like a morality play. to associate this feeling of needing more skin. I took the stud out. There's still a hole in my tongue. I place an ad with my look. Soft butch seeking hard femme. I wanted more than I knew. I felt the impulse sucking me in. I brought a bralette at Gap Body. Its tenderness was rough on the hottest day of the year, the meadow where everything grows according to its own something. I wanted to find myself in a history of the occult, fashion, the witch's greatest friends. Pale and skinny as tapeworms, ever resistant to the effects of the California sun, we can all go fuck ourselves and thus unsexed be reborn. I steal a bodysuit at Aerie. There are limits to what we understand. Thank you, bedfellows. Love you all.
Coffin me daddy. River Phoenix. Still dies. In Flea's arms. River Phoenix. Still dies. In Flea's arms. River Phoenix. Still dies. River Phoenix. Still dies. River Phoenix. In Flea's arms.
I know, right? We steal yourselves because there's more to come. We have to get back on camera. We can't even react privately the way that we want to and need to. Gorgeous first set. Let's keep going. I'm going to drop another link in the chat. Pre-order. If you like what you heard, there's more where that came from. Tell you what, all this and more. Orders will ship in late June. On a serious note, orders will ship in late June. If you live in Philly, I'm happy to meet up with you. There's an option for pickup, or I could just like leave it under a tree in Clark Park and you can come, find it and I'll like scuttle away and we don't even have to talk, but there are options. Yeah, pre-order to live in the future now. I want to meet up too. Okay, I'm not gonna talk to the chat. I'm gonna, all right, set 2, here we go. We're gonna have readings from Nicole Steinberg, Brenna Shirali, Boston Gordon, Lisa Summe, C. Bain, Lauren Samblanet, Cassandra de Alba, and Gabriel Ojeda-Sague, our angel. Let's get to it.
Do it.
Hi, I'm Nicole Steinberg, and I will be reading one of my poems from the little black book of bedfellows called Second Life. Second Life. In my second life, I notice small heaps of roadkill, either more often or in new ways. Difficult to tell if an animal died in a moment of desperation or ambition, crushed into its most velveteen parts. In my second life, there are no mothers, and also many mothers volunteering for the job, and whisperings that maybe I too am secretly a mother, per the children's furniture catalogs wedged into my mail slot, and baby formula samples that land on my doorstep, already gone to waste. In my second life, cold yogurt hurts my teeth, and there are chicken carcasses in the trash, plucked from soup, the likes of which my post-college kitchen appliances have never seen. For my love, I shop for earrings, candy, novelty spatulas, take a last-minute train to see her when she's feeling low. I'm romantic, maybe, for the very first time. Otherwise, I'm still trying to figure out what smells in the fridge. I don't recall much about college aside from the loneliness, the grappling with uncomfortable truths, anxious kisses, and a personality of parlor tricks birthed on the perimeter of daunting snowy woods. I'm a poet, but I'm also ordinary. In my second life, I hunger. And so often, in a quiet room, a woman considers me, peering over the rim of her eyeglasses, and insists I too have the right to be in the sun. Thank you, bedfellows. I love you. Mwah.
Hi, Rena Shirali here, reading At Their Weddings, Their Weddings, Their Weddings, Their Weddings. We are drunk in the bathroom alone, and their blouse is pulled down. We're drunk in the bathroom together, blouses pulled down, and I'm placing tape gently below her underarm. I ask, and did it make you happy? And do you feel an alteration? A sense of departure from your former self? We're in the bathroom the night before their wedding, and I deliberately disrobe. I take a shower in front of them. My mouth has been open 1,000 years. Someone washes someone else's body. In the morning, I do not get married. Liquor leaves my skull like a metronome, and that passage from Corinthians, it boasts, it is proud, it perseveres, and I do not get married. In the bathroom alone, I wish they were here to help me gather up all this fabric. I'm expected to move seamlessly without another, am wound up in silk. I fail to relieve myself. And underneath this memory is one of their breasts. Oh, to be this fully stoppered. I call a friend and ask, what do? I think I'm in love. Outside every bathroom is a partner holding my purse while I stare at a stall wall like its beige has pummeled me. We toast in the bathroom and document the mirror's light. Our faces glow and champagne glasses brim the shots. We're champagne glasses littering the bathroom. We're in the way and necessary. I'm so happy, they say. They mean it genuinely. Someone smashes champagne bottles poolside. They are not supposed to want to spend this night with anyone else. There are bottles yet unsmashed, and I sip from them, nodding. Then I am happy for you. Underneath a mundup, there's always an open flame. Garlands. They hold hands in front of an officiant. They reference one another's flaws and promise to live with them. I do not get married. Outside our bathroom at home, a partner does not wonder what I'm doing in here. Their best friends give speeches, and I rank them based on which one made me cry like a wave was shaking out of me. I do not get married. Their weddings in frames all over our house. In their weddings, I measure my non-years, my unadorned hands, the tan as ever even. Leaving the bathroom, I join the circle. All the single people dance like, hey, young and worried about falling out of our outfits. Like when you try to force the champagne cork back through the bottle's lip. How it won't give. I press my cheek to the bathroom floor. I am happy for them enough. Invitations arrive and arrive. I do not get married.
Summer. May is like the yolk of an egg wrapped around the world, nourishing the soft, wet ground so that we can come out with feet firm and ankle braced for every day that comes after the day that hurt us before. June, I am naked on the street, cornered by summer fevers, ready to play hooky every day, ready to fuck a stranger every other warm weeknight. But there's something sweet about you after I put my clothes back on, the way you tell me this is all you have to give. Winds change. It's thicker. Stories are like trading cards, trading paws. You hold on to me. This woman wants to know where I bought you your ring. I'll laugh about this forever and tell anyone who listens. You tell me that you can smell me on you like you've got me bottled. Your spare bedroom is hot, and August is like a little brother, pestering and lovely, longing to be bigger, tougher, colder, but just so soft. I say love about everything, the back of your neck, the spot above your junk where I like to put my tongue, the sweat stains on the sheets. But I can't seem to say love to you. even pushed against the shower wall. Sweat of the afternoon pours down the drain. I keep my mouth shut. Strawberries bleed in my mouth. They're good, but not June good. I drive through the sour lands, smell the old loam and late summer hay. I see your face poised, nervous, but you're better at this. I hear the words before you even open your mouth.
Once love is gone, it's gone everywhere. Can't stop walking past the pub we last kissed at. I look for you at the shuffleboard table in the window, and you're never there. While eating pizza last night, we determined our periods have synced up, and we will both start this weekend, Sunday's full moon, cueing our wombs. Sadness is the moon. Everything else is eclipsed. We are trying to transition into friendship. I choose my soup recipes as if you were still the audience, curried, noodled. I eat alone until nothing else will fit, wish my emptiness were literal. The last time we looked at the moon from right here, I stopped cars to help a stray cat cross the street. When I got back to our blanket, you touched my hand, said, "You're a good person." I buy myself chocolate and hide it from myself, but I know where it is. Try to save it for emergencies, but it's always an emergency. The ambulance speeding by negates me. When we looked at the moon, you asked, "What would the moon's name be if not moon?" You said Persephone, queen of the underworld, seeds of fruits and fields, vegetation goddess. Spring a half a year away and my windshield already early fall frosted. My hands too cold to be bare, my womb barren just how I like it. If I plant this sadness in the garden, I am certain it would die there if I were more capable of neglect. I will cramp up on my walk. You will be in the bath with your salts.
Well, the best thing my heart does is turn into a pussy, then into a cock, and then back into a heart, except I'm a flunking magician, so I don't have any say over when it does that. The worst thing my heart does is tell me that there is something I can do to satisfy it, that there's such a thing as satiety. There isn't. Come on, baby, and on like that, until I'm trying to pick the shattered glass out of my knee, until I'm paying a doctor to aspirate some man's genetic material out of my body's foulest mouth. The best thing my heart does is wallow. Salt, snot, tears stuffed back down its valves, and the best thing my heart does is scream. The glass-breaking note, prima donna in floor-length silk pulling the air inside out. The best thing my heart does is eat you alive, until your bones and silt in the gray water of his stomach, every possible shudder discovered. And the worst thing my heart does is eat itself. And then the hunger grows double inside his sucked out mouth. And then he shits out the world.
Hi, First, I want to thank the 215 Festival for giving Bedfellows this reading spot, to Bedfellows for inviting me to read and for publishing my poem in the Little Black Book anthology. I'm going to be reading that poem now. It's called Ode to That Disobedient Urge. Buy me a vibrator that never runs out of battery, and show me a desire that can sit in one place like a dog. If masturbating while looking at a cottonwood tree is not sexualizing nature, then why am I coming again and again, the batteries losing their steam? I made a mistake in opening a space for desire before I found real space to place my desire inside of. And oh, how this desire is lasting, and oh, how I cannot be rid of it. And what a lie to say I want to be rid of it at all. Even if masturbating for the third time, when I come, I say, I'm so fucked up. What's wrong with me? But desire or pleasure, their ongoing intermingling, asks again and again for me to sit like a dog, to sit with the desire for pleasure, to not let that voice tell me I'm so fucked up for wanting, I'm so fucked up in this fluidity. Outside, the cottonwood glistens and sways in the afternoon sun. Reaching for the batteries, it occurs that the vibrator may slowly be breaking. It occurs that my desire may be more vast than my discipline, more vast than my control or my reason. My vibrator, glistening on the bedside table. I am one of those dogs, running through grass, hair swaying in the wind, and discipline is not my name.
I can fit anyone's fantasy. Bite my lip till it bleeds. Say it again. Say it slower. Say it till my words slur and you want me anyway. You want me because there's glitter in my hair. Because the story you heard from across the party made me seem exciting in a safe way. A way where you can't really hurt me because I'm not really anything but a flash of color in a crowded room. The type of tattoo you peel off in the shower. A pair of wings perched on the shoulders of a mannequin with a mirror for a face.
Hi, I'm Gabriel Ojeda-Sague, and I am your next bedfellow. I'm going to read from a fictional diary, which is part of my next book called Madness. It's a fictional diary for a writer. And the way it's structured is that I divide all the days with bars, but since you can't see that, I'm going to clap anytime a day passes. At work today, I watched a couple movies. It was a slow day, waiting for Guffman and Some Like It Hot. Sometimes I'm like a dislocated shoulder. Today, Sky Perfect, and for an hour, Pink. After much deliberation, I've decided music is better for other people than me. I have little to say today. Bought yarn. Tried making visual art today. Made me happy. From my apartment, I heard someone on the street getting hurt. Went to the beach with Evan. I explained why I say the Pacific Ocean is a hallucination of the Atlantic. He laughed and tossed sand on my nose. Great dog today, brown and black and playful. Read Skylar on the way to work. Life is impossible. I brought my friend lemonade today because she's down. The rain today was a gift. Read today in Las Feliz with 3 others. Many good poets here, but terrible wine at the reading. Slow morning from the weed last night. Breakfast of rice, eggs, adobo. Nikki Giovanni line, I turned myself into myself. Lecture on recycling plastic at the library. Thought about my toothbrush. Tomorrow we launch sailing in LA, then 2 days after in New York. I think I finally figured out how to best read at rest and in a bottle, slanted and sagging. That's the secret. I hate chihuahuas. Saw 3 today. Saw a cute pit bull. Refreshing. Diana does not like the book, I can tell. The weather predictions were exactly right. Saw Elliot today for the first time in weeks. He made some time for him and I to be alone. I told him all I wanted was his forgiveness, though I feel I am owed much more. Sometimes I think I'm driven to an embarrassing madness by men. With Elliot, with many other men, I feel as if I become a yearning and a talent for tenderness. Tenderness as in being easily chewed. Should stop writing my name on books that I own. Conditions of possibility. Who first said that? The light in this apartment, a miracle on certain days. At this point, I'm so deeply rooted in Evan. Though there are days when I would like to run away, there are also days when I feel attached to any object he touches. Need to remember groceries and a good run today. Richard Blanco and I had coffee today, ha ha. He's very nice to look at. Bad poet though. Reading Euripides in bed for a better portion of the day. I am 37 today. Wish we had pets. Dream last night. In a field I am standing. I apologize to someone I do not see and I begin to fly. Some things I am thankful for today. The coffee Evan makes, 75 degrees, Spicer's after Lorca, Evan's recurring jokes, the Pacific Ocean, that the frisbee tossed by college kids missed my head, that my stomach has settled a bit, Fania All-Stars, a nighttime drive with my friend. Over eggs, my friend of many years said, "You forget sometimes that there are other people around you." The opposite of the problem, I think. But I know what she means.
What more can be said that hasn't already been said? You may be thinking to yourself. However, there is still another set coming up next. Some shameless self-promotion. Yet again, the pre-order link for the Bedfellows anthology will be located in the chat once I can find it and then copy and paste it. Oh, Alina will get it. Okay. And then the other thing I just wanted to say is, you know, we've been working kind of towards this project for quite some time. We want to just thank all of our contributors for their patience and their belief that we would circle back and come back together. We're grateful for that, and it really has brought us a lot of light during this time. And I just want to say that, you know, love you guys. So set 3. Okay, here it goes. This is our last set. Look at us running ahead of schedule. What is this? Unheard of for poets.
It will never happen again. It'll happen once and never again.
Exactly. You know, I haven't tripped in front of anybody. You know, we haven't dropped a paper somewhere that we desperately need. You know, this is unheard of. So here we go. Set 3. Our final set will have readings by Tyler Antoine, July Westhale, Laynie Browne, Kira K. Homsher, Emily Carr, Pattie McCarthy, Levi Bentley, and Nate Logan. Yes, I'm not going to say bean footage again, but I'm really glad that I got a little bit of love for the beans. And love you guys. And here we go. It's coming.
Hello, my name is Tyler Antoine. Jennifer, where do you plant your roses? Now think long past some days where we grew like weeds in the wind. I wonder if the soft boys still illuminate the room in the shadow of your mother at the top of the stairs, telling you about the yard work, about the empty days that time steals when we didn't look. Take promise in what today won't bring. I think of flowers in a desert storm, angry nothings coming home from college. I hope this wish was a good trip. I think it's all about an experience. Gazing at your face in the vodka moonlight, shared whatever of a luminal nothing. What sound does a cow make when it falls in the forest? And does it say, "I'm sorry"? An until lantern upside down, teenage superstars, big gold dream. I take it and I break it. I bought it and I taught it. Only difference on golden puddle is what oil rig reflects. Great boots. Love you next Easter. I take a vacation every time a bell rings. My Lambo gets its wings. Top down, secrets up. That's the way I like to disappear. All vapor and hot air, but great, great reviews. The glow of the feed, endangered, special control. I've always been a fan of pastels, partial to whispers, sucker for a light refracting, nature paint in every color, many voices all at once. I bend, I break, and then I call you next Tuesday, dripping in 401k, finally feeling prepared to love you forever. Fall down, face up, on your way to class, coming out of the cab. Do I call to the darkness, or does it call to me? I heard it texts. Welcome home to my temple of codeine, my carousel of loneliness. Promise to feel just like a child, crystal blue and white, to wake up without asking, to hear the world coming to. The street where we eventually meet has an empty heart, surgery in the 3rd degree. My parents' severed heads screaming from garbage cans in the alley, 300 I voted stickers blowing in the 3 a.m. wind, raccoons wearing face masks, humping behind moldy cardboard boxes, and you floating under a broken streetlight.
Breakfast. There is no mistake in continuing to love, yet we allow it to turn scarlet, secret, hidden behind hands or poems. What happens when failure sticks around, but doesn't smell like the half-chewed world? Not much. It is not unlike September, summer in the compost. Like discarding the sun, free time, the assurance of light. We call lost love failure, September, days that grow a little darker until they don't anymore. It's a little milder yet. Not a penmark red, but a bruise that formed around the sky because we gripped it when we meant to tear our breast, break our bodies, fast for hundreds of minutes until something dulled. That's a season, isn't it? Best and worst, and before and after are always there. Summer stained on the lips of fall, fall in the belly of winter, winter in a loveless marriage until spring, spring too frivolous until summer. I continue to blank everyone I've ever blanked.
Hi, I'm Laynie Browne, and this is Portrait of an Imaginary Bed. I was visiting your apartment. Was it in the city you live in, or was it in my city, as if I live in only one city? I've never been there, where you actually live, as if you live in a place isn't solid. The weather was saying it's going to be windy in the city, and we laughed because my family was already in the city, in some other borrowed apartment or hotel, my long, lean descendants. boys, not merely boys, and therefore we knew it was windy, so windy the windows might. We laughed at the radio in this post-century. You almost expect to be blown to tatters. It isn't funny, but we laugh as if we were irredeemable objects. Everything is already happening here, so are we less afraid? Or see how quickly your writing fills the page? He's calm, he's in his body, far away. He does not understand, he's not understandable. I said, "It's good to hear your voice." He said, "Is it?" My own father. A poet hands me a paper notebook made of burlap or gabardine, made of direct silences. You made that up, the poet asks, as if seen his booklet. It's called Orange, but the cover says Ginger. In real life, she didn't write back. I sit to read adamantly and only have to touch because the writing is so omnipotent. Set everything up with handwritten letters, for instance, the rest of your life. Write all about how I cannot write to you. How does it happen? The forbidden. Why is real and the unwritten undone? I'm reading the poet's sentences. We arrived late. Others are leaving. My family looks at me. Why were we late? The wind, impatience, but I want to start reading in the quiescent night, so loudly, obviously, when we were busy. Don't I like anything? Their leaving is too close to death as it becomes real. Then a male poet crowds me. You know his name. It's obvious he owns his own importance. He sits not just next to me, but almost on top of me, takes the book Orange or Ginger from my hands. He doesn't ask or say hello, just takes it and sits so close I can't breathe, crushing me. He is reading, not lovingly, but quickly, like an ad for speed reading. He wants to demonstrate how he absorbs. It's instant, but then it's part of him, though he doesn't admit this, and eventually stands up, but I never got to that part. I'm stuck in his dominance, that frame, or loss of perspective, not acknowledged. I write until the pen runs out.
Hi, I'm Kira, and I'm going to be reading my poem Jump the Turnstile from issue 5 of The Little Black Book. Thank you so much to Bedfellows for having me. Jump the Turnstile. Dylan Thomas said, "Do not go gentle into that good night," and as far as I know, I never did, and instead raged against it. I cannot tell you how many nights got swallowed up, and how every stranger seemed more beautiful than the last when I couldn't go straight home without blacking my brain and taking whatever anyone offered with only my toothbrush, underwear, identification, and a bag, and never enough money for all the drinks it would take to get there. And I knew what I was doing, denying reality its agency, and my body allowed it, was all for it, in fact. I never even woke up with so much as a headache, just a soft-edged pocket of loss. And my friends gave me funny looks when I asked, "Where did we go last night, or did we have fun?" But it didn't bother me not to know, and unconcern was bliss, because sometimes people go into the night and do not come home. So much of your life just isn't yours, and all your plans and persistence can be swept away in a second that has nothing to do with you, and reality denies you agency every single day. But Simone Weil said grace fills empty spaces, so in a way I was taking the only action I could by nullifying my agency altogether, so that it couldn't be taken from me, because that felt like the closest thing. Weaken the brain's connection to its cells so that memories cannot take hold, because without memories, life is like a familiar and undemanding story about a character very much like yourself, a character you feel little attachment to and no responsibility for. Really, I just watched her blaze by, but Sylvia Plath said there is a charge, a very large charge, and I can tell you there is, but I would have paid it, would have paid anything, and many nights I jumped the turnstile, laughing at the echo of my own laughter down the subway tunnels, and I have woken up wondering how I even made it to bed, and the brain has left the body behind for dead, over and over again. I have profaned and discarded the self, but limp and sly, and with stones in her pockets, she crawled back into me. Thank you.
Probability versus Plot by Emily Carr. 1. The shortest story begins and ends with true love. 2. The absence of love is not nothing. 3. Like that, without punctuation, a desire too dangerous to touch. 4. There had been many daughters, but now we were down to almost one. 5. Because her fear that everyone will see her shame is less than her fear that no one can see her at all. Some part of her is always elsewhere, exploiting her life for drama. 6. The dream is scratchy, warm like brandy and a slow cigarette, or a mind trying to decompose herself. 7. Perhaps she never had sex, but she had teeth. She had eaten meat, pure energy of earth, the rawest material. 8. On the other hand, the daughter was a function of herself, akin to heartache or the green line time makes around the known universe.
Hi bedfellows, this is Pattie McCarthy. So thankful to be with you at the 215 Festival. This is my poem, Wintertide, a honeymoon. A knackered braid in North Philadelphia, thinking of the sea. Swifting water, the fords are closed for the foreseeable. Winter rooks, the only warmth is under your mouth. Winter work, like low tide work, gets things done with and against the circumstances. And from this winter, mud, salt, and fetch, we make a nest. Thank you all very much. Love you, bedfellows.
Hi, I'm Levi, and I just wanted to say thank you for everyone at Bedfellows who's done all this work to put together an incredible publication. It feels like a great reminder right now of who's out there making work, and it feels really great to be included in evidence of a community. So thanks. My poem is Halcyon. Halcyon. No longer strange to be wrapped through lives of those I'm loving, threading into Bed-Stuy through boys kissing for indie film. Oh, cartoon skateboarder smelling of 40. Oh, Raphaelite asses and deco abs. The bridge, a joke about bridges, pink and complicated. In the Hasidic neighborhood's specific category of quiet, walking to Hana's, I am suddenly in love. Who isn't? Lucky me. I wasn't romanticizing it until I was. Hana says puppy puddle. We lay our heads on each other. She says, come, cubs. We read her plays. My good friends, I say, not knowing what that word means, except I am lost in that satisfying combination of sounds. I'm hanging around them. Anyway, we're all here, dancing in the living room somehow, kissing and then fucking. I hold someone's hair while she gets fucked. I fuck him while she fucks her, while he fucks her. She fucks him while he fucks me. The way that this falls into words, glancingly honey-soaked, like a crumb of challah after breakfast, crystallized and dissolving. We're giggling too late and too early in the shared bathroom at the theater living space, shaving a soft mohawk. In Philly, Bee's kisses snap like her eyes when she comes up, dripping teeth and grin. Her small creature folded brings me hunting into seams for flowers and salts. E makes breakfast in his dimples. We walk hand in hand through Rittenhouse, feeling supernatural. I tell all to D's Mona Lisa smile on old tracks over the city, his body taut with contained amusement and lighting up from within like a smile, and fucks beautiful and playful and sensitive and shaking and soft wet mouth sounds and thinking fingers a low hum. I decide to let the world call me back. It gives me a safe word I don't use. I listen to the sounds through one earbud over coffee on the train before we go back to bed. Opening an argument is like surgery, it leaves a scar. But still, I'm almost intolerably happy wandering in a skin so worn in that sex seems like the wrong word for something we just forget not to do. Unshowered with a strange allergic rash, still getting drinks for free for once, the universe just won't quit, and poetry is just what happens, keeps happening. A sound wall pushes words out, what inhabits me like music, the bass, a tide of good pain. You smell like the sea, I say to be, all asynchronic. She comes up wet, all teeth. The room roped into a ring, a thing that gels and wobbles, melts and rolls, shines, repeats. Strung, splayed, wires bared, tuned tight and popping, run a tongue into all the salts. Some old aloneness stretches the landscape around a little lighthouse, a radio receiver. I like her lyric spasm the way I don't think about it being good or not, because it speaks itself into my body and echoes out through a voice I didn't know I could have. Look at me handling all this beauty. Thanks.
Meat and potatoes. She spun the handcuffs with a pointer finger. The jewelry was covered in black fur and did not appear regulation. My life flashed before my eyes. I couldn't identify any crimes that would necessitate arrest. She didn't say anything. I started to count the revolutions. Her finger was a star, and the spinning fluff the orbit of some moon. When I didn't say anything, she put a leg up on the table and leaned forward. The oxygen was sucked out of the room. A trio of candles extinguished themselves. Dinner was cold and getting colder.
It's finally actually almost Bedfellows After Dark. It's Bedfellows dimming. Wow. Well,
That's the emotion we're doing.
I don't know. Usually I just stagger off. Usually by this point I'm really drunk and I stagger into someone's arms, whoever happens to be standing closest to the stage. I don't know what to do now. There's talk of an after Zoom. I don't know how to make a Zoom when I'm in a Zoom.
Either do
I'm not really millennial. I don't know. There's some things I have to say in the chat. Tyler's gonna make a Zoom for those interested. Tyler's gonna drop a link. It'd be nice to catch up with folks if that's what we want to do. So here's some things, some ways to support the 215 Festival, which we're very grateful for, and there's more programming to come for the rest of the week until Saturday. And once again, there's a pre-order link here. And this is just a small sample of of folks who were able to send us a video in like a pretty short window. There are a lot of more poets in the anthology, so check it out. And it's online too. We're not trying to pressure you into buying anything. That's not who we are. That's not what we stand for. We just think you would like it.
Yeah, because it's gonna be a little guy, you know. It's gonna be a literal little black book, you know. So it's got style. So why not, you know, online and in your hands. I would be acting exactly like this if it were in person. I'm pretty sure, right? But yes, it looks like Tyler dropped the link. Yeah. It's for your own good. I love it.
Come through. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette and then I'm gonna go about my business. But I'm gonna drop by the after Zoom.
Thank you so much for coming, guys.
Thank you all. See you in the real world soon.
Soon.